Hi, I'm Jason Frazier, and I'm going to show you how to tear down your mission statement so that you can make it work for you. Now, mission statements are often thought of as a way to tell the world why you exist, what you're here to do. You put them on your website or on your LinkedIn profile. Maybe you put them on a glossy trifold that you hand out at fundraisers. But your mission statement isn't just there to help outsiders understand what you do. It's there to help you understand what you do and to keep you on track in the face of millions of potential distractions, if you know how to use it. Let's look at a couple examples. First, Patagonia's mission statement is, "We're in business to save our home planet." It's short, to the point. The American Red Cross has, "We prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies." The World Wildlife Federation's is, "To conserve nature and reduce the most pressing threats to diversity of life on Earth." Charity Waters is, "Bringing clean and safe drinking water to people in developing countries." Finally, down at the bottom, we have Zero Bikes, which sadly went out of business in January of 2025. But their mission was to empower everyday life with electric utility bicycles, making cities better places to live by offering electric cargo bikes as a sustainable and efficient alternative to cars for daily needs. That one's a bit of a mouthful, right? As you can see in these examples, mission statements range from really, really simple to moderately complex, from pretty hand-wavy to pretty specific. Sometimes they've got more detail about what you're doing or more detail about who it's for. Sometimes very little detail at all, right? No matter how it's written, though, your mission statement is your first and most significant heuristic for decision-making. If a course of action isn't aligned with your mission, there's a good chance you shouldn't be doing it. So let's start with a simple teardown. Patagonia says, "We're in business to save our home planet." And that might seem a little Spartan, but there are two really good questions here that we could ask about any work that we're doing or might intend to do. The first is, does this work drive business success? That is, will we make enough money from this to cover it, or is it philanthropy? The mission statement states unequivocally that Patagonia is in business. Business involves transactions that make money. Is your work aligned to that or not? Some of the actual work effort at Patagonia is probably focused on directing grants and such. And this is covered in the second half of the mission statement. Will this work help save the planet? This piece can be used on the manufacturing and retail side as well as the charitable side. So for folks in manufacturing and retail, you could ask, does this track of work eliminate or minimize waste? Could we do this work with a lower carbon footprint? Or even conversely, how will this track of work harm the environment? On the impact fund side, this is the first question to ask of any potential grantee. Will this grantee help save the planet? If we put money here, how much leverage does it give us on saving the planet? Is it a good spend? Let's look at another one. This one is for the College Board, the nonprofit that owns and operates the SAT and PSAT, along with a bunch of other academic management tools. They've got a simplified version of their mission statement that looks like this: to clear a path for all students to own their future. It's nice and clean, similar in some ways to Patagonia, right? And I can see two useful questions in this one. Like many organizations, though, if you dig a little deeper, you can find what looks like an expanded version of their mission. It may or may not be official, but it's real. And for the College Board, it looks like this: to clear a path for all students to own their future by helping them navigate the path from high school to college and career through resources, programs like the SAT and AP, and by expanding opportunities for students regardless of their background. And when you add this second bit in, it gives you a lot more questions that you can ask about your work. So now we're clearing a path, helping them navigate the path, not just from high school to college, but also career. We're specifying that we do this by providing resources, the SAT and AP programs, and we're expanding opportunities for students regardless of their background. So as with Patagonia, we've got a set of questions that you can ask about any decision that you're going to make. Starting at the top, will this action clear the path for students to own their future? Is there anything in this action that poses an obstruction to that path? Could we get rid of that obstruction? Will the action we're taking improve the path for all students? How can we make sure that it's equitable? If we can't find an answer to that question, would we go ahead anyway? And what impact would that have? Will this action help students navigate the path from high school to college and career? Does it add impediments to that navigation? Does this action expand opportunities for students? And does it do so for all students, regardless of their background? How can we make it more inclusive? Let's take it a step further than we did with Patagonia and turn these questions into a checklist. That could look something like this, with each aspect of the mission broken out into the questions that we just went through. You could post this on the wall in your team workspace. You could bring these questions to every project kickoff meeting. You could use these questions in growth board meetings if you have them, or in project reviews. You could even use these in budget review cycles to make decisions about which efforts to cut and which efforts to bolster your funding for. Alternatively, instead of using your mission to test things that you're doing or thinking about doing, you can also use it to find new things to do, to generate new ideas by turning it into a set of how might we questions. Your mission is the source of your highest level how might we questions. So for the College Board, we could ask, how might we clear more obstacles from the path to students owning their future? Or how might we make that path more inclusive? How might we help students better navigate the path from high school to college? What are the complexities in that path that can't simply be removed? How could we resource students for those complexities? How might we expand opportunities for students? Are there students whose backgrounds we haven't considered yet? Is there a place for us to expand opportunities there? So in this case, you're using your mission to guide your thinking about useful innovation. This is how you align your actions with your mission. Every mission-driven team needs to be thinking about the line that goes from their mission through their actions to the outcomes that they deliver. This is basic strategy. What are you here to do? How are you doing it? And what's actually coming out the other side? And doing a mission teardown like this gives you a set of questions that you can use to evaluate your actions and make sure that they're aligned with your mission, which makes it much more likely that the outcomes that you're creating in the world are also aligned with your mission. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with 3 questions. First, what is your mission? And not just at the highest level, at the team level. What do you do? What are you here for? If you don't know this, you're not even in the game yet. Second, how are you using your mission statement as a tool to deliver on the outcomes your customers need from you? If you're not, really, maybe you should. And third, to that point, when will you get started on this? And if you have any question about whether the actions that you're taking are fully supporting your mission outcomes, I suggest you get started right away, because real people are depending on you to deliver the mission impact that you're promising. Okay? Go do it. Thanks.